guys, welcome back to Harry Makes Up. Today I am going to hit up my cool tone girls. I've got you. I feel like a lot of you guys were asking to see a cool tone look with the palette I have, and there is definitely a shade in there that I would kind of classify into the cool tone territory. So I'm going to be showing you that today, more of a kind of like a winged shadow look, so kind of pulling the eyes out just with eyeshadow and not liner. And I kind of want to chat today like we've been doing as I do the makeup, because I have just been watching Jamelia Jamil talk to Martin Bashir on his podcast, I believe it is, and it kind of made me just want to film straight away and chat to you guys. I mean, I wish I could be as eloquent as her. I know you guys are all so sweet and always say I'm eloquent, but I feel like I have so much to say and I just get overwhelmed with saying it the way I think it should be said, or saying it the way I know I want to say it, but when it comes to delivery, sometimes I struggle. So let's do makeup while we chat. So I am starting with my Flesh palette, and the colour I'm using today is this one, which is kind of like a greigey tone, so a little bit more on the cooler side than these kind of shades. I've just shoved my finger in the brown. So I'm going to start with a bit of eye primer. So good old NARS Pro Prime, and I'm going to do skin last. So yeah, I was watching Jamelia Jamil. I've been following her for a while now, and I just absolutely love her. I think what she is doing is so necessary and so important, the work she's doing, especially with Eyeway, which is her Instagram, an Instagram activist page that she created, where women kind of send in what they weigh other than numbers, and I just am really inspired by this. I'm going to link below as well to the interview she did with Martin Bashir, so you can watch that and then maybe this video will make a bit more sense. But it was when she was talking about Photoshop, and with my videos I use natural light at the minute. With my work I do on my blog, I have like a film preset I use on Lightroom, but I don't Photoshop my skin. I don't actually change anything in my physical appearance other than just the lighting, so playing with exposure, etc. And I think why it really spoke to me is because I know I'm in an industry where I also have I have very little control as a makeup artist as to when I work with an actress, for example, when I work with a model, I too feel that same stress she felt, where there's that lack of control over something, how something is being represented. And I think it's the thing that I still struggle with as a makeup artist. Like, I just love makeup. I love painting faces, and I feel it's a tool of self-expression, but I also know it is being used, not makeup alone, but I feel like the beauty industry and, again, the weight loss industry, the fashion industry is predominantly male run still, which I find amazing in this day. Yes, there are awesome women founders out there, but there's still, and there's room for men too. This is an attack on men. See what I mean about trying to be eloquent. But what I'm trying to say is that I feel like a moral obligation to share the reality, I guess. You know, like, even models don't come in, you know, they are being retouched, they are being shot with like the most expensive lighting, and every angle is thought out. And I think it's that thing of like, there's nothing wrong with wanting to look good, there's nothing wrong with that, but she kept coming back to this word toxicity of, you know, bombardment of imagery and selling an idea of what is how we should look. And I just can't shake that, because I know with my YouTube channel there's obviously a big part of me that wants to kind of discuss this more. Let's do some eyeshadow while we're at it. So I've got my eye primer on. I'm going to use Post-its. Sorry, I know this is a bit backwards and forwards, guys. I'm going to use Post-it. I wouldn't normally use Post-its to do this kind of look, but I just thought it might be helpful for anyone who wants to do kind of like a winged shadow look but feels like it's just too stressful. So use a Post-it or a little bit of electrical tape, something very with a soft finish, and we're going to go in with that cool tone shade. So I'm just going to start applying that in the direction. So I'm just taking it all the way across the eye. Maybe this isn't the right kind of video to discuss this in, but like I said, I've literally just watched the interview with Jamelia, and I've just found myself being so blown away by her honesty and her own experience. And, you know, she is still someone that's working in the industry, and it's like, how do you navigate what you want to share and feel like you're representing honesty within the industry, and also wanting to make the things that are bad better at the same time, I think is what I'm struggling with. And I'm just pulling it out still, so I'm kind of pulling it out when I get to where the socket is, just starting to elongate it slightly, just like there, and then rounding, and then I'm just putting more and more pigment near the lash line. And I get it, you know, some people are here because they just want to wear makeup, they just want that escapism, and I want my channel to be that too. But it's when I see someone like Jamelia Jamil and what she's talking about, I just feel like, no, I've got a lot to say on the subject, and I want to say stuff, but I'm obviously scared, and I'm scared as well because I know the industry I'm in, there are people that don't want, you know, you guys to know the Photoshop and all the things that happen that make an image perfect by society standards. I want to talk more about body confidence. I want to talk more about using makeup as a tool to celebrate your self-expression rather than feeling like it has to be about looking like someone else, which again, there's nothing wrong with being inspired by someone's makeup, but you know, I know since I started my channel in the beginning, I was doing a lot of like celebrity tutorials and things like that, and they were the things that got my channel hits, they were the things that made my channel grow. And it can be a little bit disheartening knowing that the more authentic I feel I've become on YouTube in terms of sharing content that I feel I'm more passionate about, I've seen my numbers drop. And I never want my YouTube channel to be about numbers. That's kind of half the reason I started this capsule makeup challenge, because I wanted, you know, to kind of bring it back to the side of enjoying makeup, but enjoying makeup we've got as well without this excessive need to like spend and have the latest limited edition palette. And then I'm going to take this off so you can see we've got a very extreme wing now, and I'm just going to like start to soften this out a little bit, and I'm just going to start to bring it under. And again, don't worry about any fall down, the line is just there really to like guide you. And I'm just joining it up. I know it looks really messy at the minute, but it's all going to make sense in a bit. So I'm just taking a wipe now, and I'm just kind of like perfecting my shape. So I'm just using this just to kind of get a bit of extra clarity as to like what my shape is, knowing that I can still kind of go in and play later if I need to. I'm just going to put some moisturizer on, guys, before I carry on with my eyes. So, you know, another thing I really struggle with is, you know, the beauty campaigns where a cream marketed at 50+ women is advertised on a 17-year-old model. That I really, really struggle with. And that's one of the ways I feel very conflicted, I think, in this industry, guys, is those things. You know, those things are going to be a part of my work sometimes. And that's hard to navigate. And, you know, I just think it's nice to have this discussion with you guys about that kind of thing. So I'm going to go back into the black now, just to make kind of a liner, blend a bit of shadow in to deepen my top lash line. So I'm just going along my top lash line here, just to make that lash line really dark. But yeah, I think there's so many ways. I think like the industry in some ways has come a long way, and in some ways there's a really long way to go still, especially where like inclusivity's, you know, discussed, and representation of everyone. I like hearing from you guys. I like hearing how this stuff affects you. Like, do you feel like you identify, do you see yourself represented in the beauty industry? If not, how can that be improved? So then I am going to let's do curl my lashes and mascara before I go any further. And I do apologize if the light in here makes it look more warm than it is. It's because the wall behind me is actually like a kind of warm cream color, which doesn't help, but I am having my office painted as soon as I have the budget to do so. So I will be painting it so that it looks brighter and more neutral. So yeah, I guess what I'm trying to say is I just absolutely love what Jamelia Jamil is doing, and I feel like I've talked for a while now on my blog about these kind of things and feeling conflicted with my role in the beauty industry. You know, and also, I'm not gonna lie, I wanna make money doing things I love, and makeup is something I love, but also doing it in a way that doesn't leave me conflicted. Because I am a worrier. I think that's the one thing that is, any of my friends would tell you, I am such a worrier, and I want to be more carefree. And I know that while it's that thing as well of not feeling preachy, but also needing to kind of shout about things that are important. And I just always think of like my younger cousins and you know, my friends' daughters, and I think what I want the industry to be for them, and, you know, them not growing up around, you know, kind of toxic imagery or messaging. I think that's what I'm more afraid of as well, is the messaging that goes along with certain imagery. It's how imagery is used to promote an idea that perhaps, you know, for a lot of people is unachievable and unattainable and not necessary. And, you know, I spoke before in my blog about kind of choosing my own definition of beauty and defining my own beauty standards. And yes, maybe I'm lucky that I found that, I don't think easy is the right word, but I have got to that point. But my, you know, my mission is like, how do I help other people get to that? How do I become a part of people figuring that out? And I don't know, and I want to know. You know, I want women to feel great about themselves. I think makeup does that for me, but also there's lots of other factors that do that. Makeup's just one piece of the pie. And it's also not reliant on me only wearing makeup to feel good about myself. But I enjoy the way makeup makes me feel. I enjoy expressing myself through makeup and colours and patterns and shape. So yeah, like I said, I kind of want to know how to express that for you guys, and, you know, help you guys find your confidence, help you define your beauty standards. That is what feels so important to me. I'm just taking my concealer, and we're just going to brighten. I'm using it kind of mostly down the centre. And I'm just going to take my Chanel brush and I'm just going to buff that through. I have got a little bit of what was a breakout that, again, I'm not that fussed about covering, to be honest. So this is where now we can start to like clean things up a little bit more using the concealer, just making the skin look so much brighter. So just taking that kind of through the front part, just feathering it through, and then just making sure you kind of pull it out a little bit further than what you would do normally to kind of compensate for how far the wing is coming out. For cheeks today, I am kind of feeling, again, to keep it in the cool vibe, I'm going to use the pink shadow from here, and I'm going to use that as a blush. So I'm taking a blush brush and I'm just going to add a little bit of this blush because this has got like a very cool tone to it, this pink. So I think it will go really nicely with this eye. It just lifts it slightly. Then for lips, I'm going to mix today my cloud paint and my liquid lipstick, because this one, these two together, I think we can get it to complement the cool tone vibe. So I'm just going to mix on the back of my hand. So I'm going to about that tone. Then I'm going back to my cloud paint again, and I'm going to kind of layer with the cloud paint. So just tapping just that on top, just like mute it down slightly, but so that there's that pink undertone, like the cooler pink. So just cloud paint. And we're going to get it down to more of like a sort of coral by mixing these two together. Almost like a sort of 50s pink, actually. This is for my cool tone girls. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I think cool tone, warm tone, whatever you prefer. You can obviously do this shape, this technique with any eyeshadow. Use your post-its, it's incredibly easy, and just blend, blend, blend. And I think we've used everything today apart from the lip balm and my pinch of glow stick, which I'm not going to use because I kind of just like the sheen from the pink eyeshadow in the palette. So I hope that was helpful, guys. Thanks for bearing with me regarding all my many thoughts and feelings on what we discussed about what Jamelia Jamil is talking about. Let me know if you have any thoughts on the matter. I will pop down the video that I mentioned me talking about as well in the description box below. Next video will be look 10, and I feel like we've got to do a giveaway. I feel like there's definitely going to be some kind of giveaway. Just say thank you, and like I feel like after 10 looks, maybe we evaluate the experience and we'll see what comes next for my channel and, you know, what I've learned from the experience. So I would love if you guys subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon for more. Thanks so much, guys. Bye.